Hey guys, this is Scott Horne with the Owner Finance Network. You know, we're going to take a minute and just talk about protecting your investments a little bit, by the way, by being smart, due diligence, things like that along the way. So if you like the video, take a minute and like it. Don't forget to comment. We'll do our best to get back to you on those. And remember to join that YouTube channel as well. So guys, you make money by saving money. You make money by being smart, by not goofing up too many times. So let's just be flat out honest. You're going to screw up. You're going to screw up a lot. Trust me, I have screwed up a lot. I've screwed up with contractors, too much money up front, messing up deals for value, wrong thought process on a property, wrong location, wrong this, wrong that, things that take time, money, everything. It just happens. The key is learning from your mistake, minimizing those, doing your best not to repeat them. For example, I was asked to do a loan on a property one time, and not do a loan, but to look at buying, or actually do a loan on a property. And I thought this was in Kaufman, Texas. That was a hot area going on at the time, and it wound up being in Kemp, and I had a brain disconnect. Did the deal. What a pain in the rear that was. That was 15 years ago. Still got the house. It's finally cashing out, made money on it finally along the way, but it took 3 different sales to get there. So again, being smart, going through things, important to do, learning from those mistakes out there along the way. But you really minimize your mistakes by doing your homework up. That means analyze that transaction. When you get that lead generation going and you get those calls, you're going to call, you better know before you go. You better know what's going on that property. Have good numbers. Information is power in this business. You need access to good information. You don't want to go buy a house that you think is worth $300,000 and it winds up being worth $250,000. Don't trust people to tell you things. They're trying to make money themselves and they're going to push everything they can to try and maximize their profits. You've got to learn to be smart. Access to good information is all powerful, and knowing how to look at things. Let me give you an example by what I mean. I was taught by an appraiser how to evaluate properties, especially properties that are overbuilt for a neighborhood. Or does it have a garage conversion and your comps don't have a garage conversion? How do you really look at that? Do you give, let's say, a garage conversion 100% value per square foot like everything else in the area? No. Unless you have other houses that have sold retail, that have garage conversions, so you have apples to apples to apples comparison, you cannot do that. What if you have a home, and I'll give you an example. This is a house where all the houses in the area are 1,000 square feet. And this house has a 1,000 square foot addition in the back of it. And people are telling you, oh my gosh, it's worth all this money. And you're going, ain't no way. You know, you can give the main home, that 1,000 square foot, full value per square foot for what all the other houses in the area are selling for. But for that overbuilt section, you can't give it full value. Really, the rule of thumb is you give it 25% value. And again, think about it. Even at 25% over price value for that house, people who are going to come in and buy in that neighborhood, they don't have the ability to qualify for that double price or 150% of the price. But they maybe can do it for 125% of that value. It's learning how to look at evaluating a home properly, and it also is based upon the time and the marketplace you're in along the way, because sometimes you can give it a little bit more value. Instead of 25%, maybe 33%, maybe even in some cases 50%. You've got to be able to look at things from a good perspective. You also have to know what kind of liens are affecting me. Am I closing with a closing agent who's intelligent enough to can tell me what kind of liens are out there or not? Things happen in our business, and we want to protect our investments and minimize our risks. Learning how to be smart, how to look at a title commitment, what's out there. Am I going to read my Schedule B, things that are being left on the property, and make sure I'm okay? Learn to do that. Making sure things get cleared off the property so I'm getting free and clear title, fee simple title to the property. You need to learn what that means and how to do things. How to communicate with your closing agent. If you're buying subject to, What else could be out there that could be a negative effect? How to read a mortgage statement properly. I have run across so many things recently where investors are putting houses under contract, have bought a house, and then they find out, oops, the mortgage company has failed to be charging escrow taxes on this property because it's still being taxed at land value, not at the new construction value. And what these cities do is they go back and they roll back the taxes, and now they're hit with $12,000, $15,000 of taxes by the city that they want paid in the next 12 months. And all of a sudden, it's an extra $1,000 a month payment they don't have. You have to be able to think through this and look at these things to understand it so you don't fall into that trap. Another example is a probate situation where maybe someone passed away 3 years ago. They had all these exemptions on the properties, and the grandkids, let's say, who were the heirs who inherited, never told the city or the county that they had passed away. There's been nothing filed of record, and for all those years, the county has been taxing the property utilizing the exemptions of the person who passed away. Well, guess what, guys? When that person passed away, those exemptions get removed. So what do the cities and counties do? They roll back the taxes, charge penalty and interest, and you get hit with a big tax burden because you didn't think about it. And you have to understand that. You have to even guide your title company through those kind of things because that's not necessarily their responsibility. They're going to get a tax proration, but that tax proration agreement says that seller and buyer are responsible for rollback taxes or items of that nature, not your closing agent. So you should be asking these questions to know whether you should be holding back these funds from a seller in those situations in order to protect yourself. All these little details are important. Understanding liens that are being left on the property. When do they fall off? What could happen? How could they affect me? This is how you protect your investment when you're buying a home out there. Whether you're paying cash for it, if you're getting full title, okay, you're going to be protected in almost every case in that scenario. But if I'm buying it subject to, I'm buying it subject to other liens, what's going to affect me? How do I navigate those? When do they go away? Could things happen where they stay on? Absolutely. What are my exit strategies? Working through these items helps you understand how to protect yourself. And all of these things happen. There's a lot to learn, but you also learn a lot by asking questions to the right people, whether it's asking questions to your real estate attorney, asking questions to your closing agent, to other investors, learning these kind of things, taking the time to actually read what you're signing. So many investors in the marketplace, they won't walk in and want to be the big man on the block. They don't read a thing, they just sign a thing, they walk out. They don't even read the signature block of what they're signing to see if the name on the paperwork is correct. And I see that happen so often. They just want to run in, sign, and run out the door. Oh, I don't have the time to do things. Take the time to learn. Take the time to slow down a moment. Look at what you're doing and take care of it. Read your note. Know what your terms, conditions are. If you're getting a hard money loan, for instance, know what those are. When does that loan expire? What must you do? Do you have renewal and extension options? How far out can you go before it becomes a problem? Be prepared to handle that problem. Do the right things. Protect yourself. Protect your investment. Protect your profit. Protect your equity out there. You've got to track your market conditions. They change. For instance, just recently we've gone through our election. And leading up to the election in the few months, the marketplace started slowing down immensely. Even when the Fed changed the interest rates a little bit, it didn't really change the mortgage marketplace that much, and people were still sitting back waiting on go. And you would hear this from the realtor marketplace and the investment marketplace both out there as well. And you got to recognize this. Keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening because it is a direct effect of things. When you're looking at buying a house and you're going to go retail, what are the days on the market? What are the trends going on? There was a trend, 6 months ago, 30 days. Well, did that increase to 45 days, to 60 days, to 90 days? What's happening? Expect things to happen. Plan for it. Set aside funds you have. So in case that house doesn't cash out in 90 days, you've got to hold it for 6 months. You've got the ability to make those payments as opposed to possibly losing that home to a foreclosure to your private lender, your hard money lender, whatever it might be out there along the way. Be smart. Learn the nuances of the business. Working with back-end buyers per se. How long does it take to close a deal? What could trip me up on a closing? What do I need to be anticipating so that you can make that deal close to protect your investment? If I've done, let's say, an owner finance transaction with a back-end buyer, my buyer doesn't pay, do I have the ability to carry that transaction in the event of a default, and how can I get them out? What are my various options to get them out of the transaction so I'm able to protect myself? Is it a deed in lieu of foreclosure? Make sure you check title first. Do I go through foreclosure? What's the risk of bankruptcy? Do I do a cash for keys? What's the best thing? Every situation is different, which kind of is what makes this business fun, but you have to go through and learn all these things and be smart. Asking questions to other investors, to your lawyer, to your escrow agent, whomever it might be. Assimilating information. Be a sponge. Pull it in, and you'll find if you do all these things, it will help you protect your investments along the way, whether you're buying it or selling it or anything in between. Hope you found this video helpful, guys. If you did, take a minute and like it. Don't forget to comment below and take a moment and please join our YouTube channel. We'll see you all next time.